Have you ever noticed that you keep waking up at exactly the same time in the middle of the night? Maybe it's 3 a.m. You roll over, look at the clock, sigh, and wonder, why does this keep happening? You're not alone. In fact, it's one of the most common sleep complaints among older adults. You go to bed feeling fine, but like clockwork, your eyes pop open in the early hours of the morning, and falling back asleep feels almost impossible. If this sounds familiar, don't worry. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. But it does mean your body is trying to tell you something, and it's worth paying attention to. Sleep after 60 is a whole different ball game. Our bodies change, our brains shift, and unfortunately, that deep, uninterrupted sleep we used to take for granted in our younger years becomes harder to hold on to. And here's the thing, waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just about getting older. There are real, scientific reasons why it happens, and some of them might surprise you. In today's video, we're going to gently walk through what might really be going on when your eyes fly open in the middle of the night. We'll talk about what it means for your health, why it matters more than ever after 60, and what simple things you can do starting tonight to get back to more restful, uninterrupted sleep. Let's start with one of the biggest hidden culprits, your hormones. As we age, our levels of melatonin, the sleep hormone, naturally drop. Melatonin helps signal to your body that it's time to sleep, and it plays a role in keeping you asleep through the night. When levels fall, your internal body clock can get confused. That's why many older adults find themselves waking up around 3 a.m., right when melatonin is at its lowest. And when that hormone dips too low too early, your brain starts getting mixed signals. Is it time to wake up? Is it still night? Now add to that another hormone that's quietly working in the background, cortisol. You've probably heard of it as the stress hormone. But it's also part of your natural wake-up system. Cortisol levels rise in the early morning hours to help get your body ready for the day. But when cortisol rises too early, like at 3 a.m., it can jolt you awake long before your body is actually rested. The result? You lie there, tired but wired, and sleep feels just out of reach. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not stressed. But here's the tricky part, stress doesn't always show up as worry or anxiety. It can show up in your body as muscle tension, shallow breathing, or even blood sugar swings, and all of those can mess with cortisol levels. Especially if you had a big dinner, a late glass of wine, or even just a long, emotional phone call with a loved one. Your body reacts, even if your mind feels calm. This brings us to another often overlooked piece of the puzzle, blood sugar. After 60, our ability to regulate blood sugar becomes less stable. If you eat a heavy or sugary meal late in the evening, your blood sugar may spike and crash in the middle of the night. That crash can send your brain into alert mode, triggering wakefulness. Your body senses that drop and sends out signals, adrenaline, cortisol, to correct it. And what time does that often happen? Yep. Around 3 a.m. It's amazing how connected everything is, isn't it? Let's pause here for a second and think about your typical evening. What time do you usually have dinner? Do you have a snack before bed? Do you sip wine or nibble on something sweet to help you unwind? These little habits might seem harmless, but they can quietly set the stage for nighttime wake-ups. Now, another factor that's easy to overlook, but just as important, is body temperature. Our body temperature needs to drop slightly to fall into a deep sleep. But after a certain age, our ability to regulate temperature, especially during sleep, declines. If your room is too warm, or your blankets too heavy, your body may become uncomfortable around, you guessed it, 3 a.m. That's when your core body temperature naturally starts to rise in preparation for waking up. If you're already overheating, your brain gets the signal, wake up, it's morning. Even if the sun's not up yet. Try this tonight. Before you go to bed, feel the temperature in your bedroom. Is it cool and comfortable? Can you breathe easily under your covers? Sometimes just cracking a window, switching to lighter bedding, or adjusting your thermostat by a couple of degrees can make a huge difference. And don't underestimate the power of light, especially the kind coming from your devices. Watching TV, scrolling on your phone, or even turning on a bright lamp too close to bedtime can interfere with melatonin production. That artificial light tells your brain it's still daytime, delaying the signals that help you fall and stay asleep. That's why so many sleep experts now recommend dimming the lights in the evening and limiting screen time an hour before bed. You don't have to overhaul your entire routine, but small shifts, like turning off bright overhead lights and switching to a warm lamp or candlelight after dinner, can help your brain wind down more naturally. It's like gently nudging your body back into its rhythm. So if you've been waking up at 3 a.m. and wondering if something is wrong with you, take heart. You're not broken. You're not alone. And best of all, there are things you can do to help. Let's keep going and look at what else might be causing these early wake-ups, and how to get your nights back on track, step by step. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now, if you've ever looked at the clock in the middle of the night and it reads 3:07 a.m. again, and you're lying there wondering, why does this always happen to me? You're not alone. Waking up at the same early hour, night after night, isn't just a coincidence. There's often a pattern behind it, and understanding that pattern might be the very key to breaking it. Let's talk about what's happening inside your body around this time. One major player here is cortisol. That's your body's natural stress hormone. Cortisol doesn't just kick in when you're feeling anxious. It also follows a daily rhythm, called the circadian rhythm, and it starts to rise in the very early morning hours, usually around 3 to 4 a.m. That rise is perfectly normal. It's your body's way of gently nudging you toward wakefulness. But here's the twist. For many older adults, cortisol doesn't just nudge, it jolts. And that jolt can feel like you suddenly woke up for no reason, heart may be beating a little faster, your brain already thinking about your to-do list, or worrying about something that happened 2 weeks ago. Why does this happen more often after 60 or 70? As we age, our body becomes more sensitive to stress, even tiny stressors. Something as simple as not drinking enough water the day before, or eating too much sugar before bed, can make your cortisol spike harder. If you're dealing with chronic stress, maybe financial worries, loneliness, or caring for a partner, that adds fuel to the fire. But here's the good news, you can tame that cortisol curve. And it doesn't involve anything fancy. Something as simple as stepping outside for 15 minutes of natural daylight in the morning can help reset your body's rhythm. Light, especially early in the day, tells your brain it's time to be awake. And in turn, your brain learns when it's not time to be awake, like 3 a.m. Now let's talk about something else that might be waking you up, your bladder. Nighttime bathroom trips become more common as we get older. Your body produces less of a hormone called vasopressin, which normally helps you hold in urine while you sleep. On top of that, many medications, like blood pressure pills or diuretics, can make you pee more often at night. It's frustrating, I know. But there are a few things you can do that might help. For starters, look at when you're drinking fluids. If you're sipping water late into the evening, even just a glass an hour before bed, your bladder's going to be busy by 3 a.m. Try front-loading your hydration during the day instead. Drink a big glass of water in the morning, keep sipping until dinner time, then slow down in the evening. And here's something that surprises many people, caffeine and alcohol can linger in your system longer than you think. Even if you drink coffee at 2 p.m., it might still be affecting your sleep at 2 a.m. And a glass of wine might help you fall asleep faster, but it tends to lead to lighter, more fragmented sleep, and more wake-ups in the early hours. Now I want to bring up something that's a little less talked about, but incredibly important, the role of emotional health in sleep. If you often find yourself waking up in the early hours with a heavy chest or a racing mind, it might be more than just biology, it might be unresolved emotions. The night has a way of amplifying our thoughts. Worries that felt small in the afternoon can feel enormous at 3 a.m. Grief, anxiety, even long-standing regrets, they all have a sneaky way of bubbling up in the quiet hours. And many older adults carry these emotional weights silently. We were raised in a time where you didn't always talk about your feelings. But holding it in doesn't make it go away. In fact, it often shows up right around 3 a.m. There's no shame in seeking support, whether that's a trusted friend, a counselor, a journal, or even your faith. Sometimes, writing down your worries before bed, literally putting them on paper, helps your mind let go for the night. You can even keep a little notepad by your bed. When something wakes you up, a thought, an idea, a concern, write it down, then gently tell your brain, we'll deal with that in the morning. And here's something beautiful to remember, your sleep isn't broken. It's adapting. Your body is changing, and your needs are shifting. Waking up at night doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means your body is trying to tell you something. Maybe it needs more calm in the evenings. Maybe it needs less screen time before bed, or a softer pillow, or simply to be listened to. It's easy to fall into the trap of frustration. You look at the clock, 3:17 a.m., and you feel angry, disappointed, helpless. But what if instead, you viewed that moment as your body asking for attention, not punishment? What if 3 a.m. became a gentle reminder to care for yourself a little more deeply? This shift in mindset, from frustration to compassion, can change everything. You might still wake up sometimes, yes. But you'll meet those moments with softness, not stress. And that, in itself, can help you fall back asleep more easily. Let's also touch briefly on sleep cycles. Our sleep runs in 90-minute cycles: light sleep, deep sleep, then REM, the dreaming stage. When you wake up at 3 a.m., it often happens at the end of one of these cycles. And as we age, we tend to spend less time in deep sleep and more time in lighter stages, making it easier to wake up from small disturbances, a noise outside, a change in temperature, or even a shift in body position. So instead of panicking when you wake up, remind yourself, this is just a natural pause. Don't reach for your phone. Don't turn on the lights. Don't try to force sleep, that just makes it harder. Instead, try a calming breathing exercise. Inhale slowly to a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Do it 3 or 4 times. Let your body settle on its own. And most of all, be kind to yourself. Sleep changes as we age, that's a fact. But those changes don't have to steal your peace or your energy. With a few simple shifts, a bit of patience, and a lot of self-compassion, you can find your rhythm again. And if you've ever wondered, what do I do after waking up at 3 a.m., wide-eyed and restless, you're not alone. That moment, when the house is quiet and your mind begins to race, can feel a little unsettling. But here's the truth, it's not just about your body waking up, it's also about what's happening inside your heart and mind. Because sleep isn't just a physical need. It's deeply emotional, too. Sometimes, waking up in the middle of the night isn't about caffeine or lighting or medications. Sometimes, it's about unresolved worries. About grief that sits quietly all day and then suddenly shows up when the world goes quiet. About feeling uncertain about the future, about your health, or even about being alone. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's human. You see, as we get older, we gain so much wisdom, but we also carry more. More memories, more loss, more change. And it's no surprise that these emotions can disrupt our sleep. In fact, research has shown that anxiety and depression, both of which can show up subtly, are major causes of insomnia in older adults. And the hard part? Sometimes we don't even realize they're there. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do for your sleep is to take care of your emotional health. Try this tonight. Before bed, sit quietly with yourself for 5 minutes. No TV, no phone, no noise. Just you and your thoughts. Ask yourself, what's weighing on my heart today? You don't need to fix it. Just acknowledge it. Sometimes, simply being heard, even by yourself, is enough to ease the grip it has on your rest. And here's another gentle shift that can help, redefining what waking up at 3 a.m. actually means. Instead of thinking, oh no, not again, what if you thought, my body's telling me something? It needs a little help right now. That mindset alone removes a layer of stress, and stress is often what turns a 5-minute wake-up into an hour-long toss-and-turn session. If you do wake up, try not to fight it. Lying there frustrated usually makes it worse. Instead, keep a journal by your bed. Scribble a few thoughts. Or try a simple breathing exercise: inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This calms your nervous system and signals your body that it's safe to return to sleep. And let's not forget the role of movement. Gentle stretching or light activity during the day, not too close to bedtime, can do wonders. Even just a short walk in the morning sunshine helps set your internal clock. Your body thrives on rhythm, and the more consistent your daily activity, the more likely you are to sleep soundly through the night. Nutrition also plays a surprisingly big part. Magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, almonds, and bananas can support sleep. So can foods high in tryptophan, like turkey or oatmeal. And be mindful of sugar and alcohol, especially late in the day. They may feel comforting in the moment, but they can wreak havoc on your sleep cycle. Now, if you've tried all this and still find yourself waking up regularly, don't suffer in silence. Talk to your doctor or a sleep specialist. There may be an underlying condition like sleep apnea, restless legs, or something else entirely. And the good news? There are solutions. Many people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s have found real relief by simply getting the right kind of help. More than anything, I want you to know this: waking up at 3 a.m. does not mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're doomed to poor sleep forever. It simply means your body is asking for support. And when you start listening to it, not with fear or frustration, but with kindness, you start creating space for healing. So the next time your eyes pop open in the quiet dark, try this: don't panic. Don't judge. Just breathe. Stretch. Smile if you can. Tell yourself, this is just part of the process. I'm learning what my body needs, and I'm on the right path. And you are. Because good sleep isn't about perfection. It's about paying attention. It's about treating yourself with the same gentleness you'd offer a dear friend. You deserve rest. Deep, nourishing rest. And while it might take time to reclaim it, every small step you take gets you closer. If you've ever struggled with sleep, I'd love to hear your story. What's helped you? What's still a challenge? Leave a comment below. I read them, and so do others. Your story might be just what someone else needs to feel a little less alone tonight. And if this video helped you feel more understood, more hopeful, or just a little more at ease, please like and subscribe. We've got more simple, honest tips coming your way, all designed to help you live well, sleep well, and age with strength and joy. Here's to peaceful nights, warm mornings, and a life full of energy and calm, no matter what time the clock says. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.